Yonji Jimbo Zoden Himika Zondim Holland Jimbo Ngabjada Bakardang Santo Hirmado Domba Tuji Janla Kipshan Sar Shawman Chuje Anji Pavdana Tisum Sanji Kunjingo Ransum Churgun Wansum Donza Be Zawala Manamla Kipshan Sar. Good morning. Today I'm going to teach you about perfection, but not the great perfection, but imperfection, great in imperfection. Because sometimes people disconnected with everything. And because of that, the self-hated, the problem comes, right? And then you don't like yourself. You hate yourself. It looks like that's very common. I'm not so sure about the causes of self-hatred. Maybe the idea of the original sin, maybe the separation from your family, maybe the competitions that shows on the television, the commercials will taught exactly what we should look like. Maybe you think you don't have so much wisdom, you are stupid, so you make lots of mistakes. Maybe your physical attraction, the way how you appear, and etc. There are so many, I think, causes that make you unhappy with yourself. Many people are struggling with these problems. But the point, the bottom line is you can change and you can transform all your negative actions into positive. And you should know that the best thing to do when this is happening, you need to think, love yourself. You have to connect with your Buddha nature. You need self-kindness. And it is about understanding your feelings when you suffer rather than ignoring yourself, your pain. In order to develop your self-kindness, you need acceptance. The acceptance is the essence of spiritual practice, and also it is the essence of self-love. Very important. I always say it. The acceptance is the first step for self-kindness and self-love, especially in this moment, this kind of problem. You have to accept your body as it is. You have to accept your mind as it is. You have to accept your emotions as it is. And you have to accept all your actions for your self-kindness, for your self-love. If you can accept all your actions, then you can change. You have potential, possibilities. If you accept yourself with self-love, self-kindness, it is the solution to self-hatred. According to Buddhism, if you love yourself and if you really know what is the cause of your love and happiness, then you are the most, Buddha said, that successful person in the world. So Buddhism talks a lot about the causes of love and causes of happiness, as you know already. Because of the Buddha nature, the potential, right? Buddhism talks a lot about like practice, courage, commitment, connection, forgiveness, acceptance, love, and your potential opportunities. All of this inner qualities. If you practice these causes of happiness and love, they will help you to diminish the self-hatred and what do you call it? Imperfection. This practice make you relax and allow yourself to move gently towards self-protect. So this practice are relationship between equals. You will know your own darkness as well as the darkness of others. So I believe that this practice makes you a gentle and kinder person, because you are the reason clear. You are making connection between you and your qualities, inner qualities. So without this practice, you are confused, communicate with your feeling and with your connection. So the self-love, the essence of love yourself is really acceptance. The self-love and self-acceptance are essential to the human experience. So if you want to fully experience love and acceptance, you must need connection. When you think about self-love, you have to learn about giving, receiving, and grow. It means because when you think about self-love, love is not only something that you give or you get, but it is also something that you grow and you receive because of the development. To practice self-love means learning how to trust yourself and to be kind to yourself. It is very much related to self-acceptance. And self-hatred and to look down upon it, oneself, yourself, is the destroyer to grow your love, self-love. Destroyer, grow self-kindness. So when you can let go of what other people think, especially when you can let go of own your situation, then you get the access to your love. The feeling that you are enough just as you are, and that you are worthy of love and acceptance. Loving and accepting yourself are the essence of courage and connection. So these practices are related to each other. You might not like what you're doing. You might not like what you are thinking. You might not like with all your actions. But you have to accept them for your improvement, for your self-love. You have to accept your, the idea of the imperfections. And you should excited about the possibilities. You should try to stay realistic, because sooner or later it will happen. So you should not believe the meaningless reasons that make your life miserable. Your old habits are not easy to break, and the positive change don't appear suddenly, but develop them slowly, develop them gradually, and little by little, each day. So you have to be patient with yourself, and don't worry, because you really can change your actions. So trying to do what is the best for yourself rather than hit and ignore yourself. You should never think that there is no solution to your problems. And when you're looking for the solution, it is about your connecting, right? Connecting with the right situation, with the right person, with the right time, with the right issues. With that powerful connecting, you should feel confident that, oh, I can do this, with sort of all this rightness. That's why you need the right connecting with your situation. Let's say, for example, if you are a bad person, what is the really means a bad person? The Buddhist point of view if you are accumulating negative karma, for example, you make for other people suffer, you destroy the country, all of these bad actions, attitude, based on your very, very bad motivation, that's what we call evil person, bad person, negative person, right? Also, you feel guilty because you did something bad. And you think you are a shame person because you think you are a bad person because of the way you behave. Then you think and you believe that is who you are. And you think you never be perfect person. So therefore you don't like yourself. Well, Buddhist point of view, it is very true. You never be a perfect person if you don't purify your negative karma, which is about change your actions, change your behavior. If you don't stop accumulating negative karma for the future, then you never be a good person. You never be a perfect person. That is we call very bad person, negative person, and who can really destroy a lot. So there is nothing good about a bad person. All the actions, physical, mental, verbal, all bad, negative. Nothing good about it. But only one good thing is you can transform yourself into perfect person. That's the good thing about the negative person. It's changeable. It's impermanent, right? Changeable. Likewise, worldly point of view, if you did something bad, then you have very, uncomfortable feeling about your behavior, about your motivation, your actions. What you need to do and make you feel better, if you apologize for your bad actions. And not only apologize, but also change after that. Change your behavior and change your bad actions. Then it is possible you become a perfect person. So it's totally up to you. That's the same thing, spiritual point of view. You accumulated negative karma. So then you apologize, which is purification. I will never do this ever again. Discipline, that is what we call discipline. Because then you will be a good person and perfect person. Possible. It's totally up to you. Same thing. So never think that I can't change my bad actions. I can't change my bad behaviors because I was born this way. It's my nature. So I am a bad person. I never be a perfect person. Never think that. I won't say this because you might think that because you have the idea of the, original sin. But that's not true at all. Not true at all. That is really misunderstanding. It doesn't make sense because it's not true. Because the Buddhist point of view, the negative action is something that you, remember, accumulated for yourself, then get back as a result for yourself. So the point is you will not experience and you will never get the result of someone else's negative actions that they have accumulated. That is, you can't ask why, that is how it is. So it will give you the result according to how you made it, how you accumulate it, either good or bad. It works exactly the way it is supposed to work. That is how it is. So therefore, if you don't have any connection with the idea of the original sin, then you will never get the result of someone else's negative actions. So if you think that, I don't have any connection, I never, accumulated these negative actions, but still I am a bad person. I was born this way. It's terrifying. It doesn't make any sense. And even, if you did something bad and you experience shame, so you feel bad and you don't like yourself, but that is not Buddhist point of view. That is not the end of the idea, because there is always solutions, always antidotes, right? So don't think that I can't do anything about it because it makes you disconnected from your human qualities. Remember, the love, the compassion, forgiveness, patience, bodhicitta, wisdom, especially your Buddha nature, all of these human qualities that you have, that you possess. The idea of the original sin, it makes you disconnected from all of these human qualities. You should never feel that I am bad because I was born that way. That's not true. Because you possess all of these human qualities. You should think that I am a very fortunate person. I have opportunity to develop these qualities. And you should know the value of your precious human life. This is very important according to Buddhism. To understand the precious human life is very important. That's why. You should at least have some experience of meditation and your understanding about the precious human life and about the human qualities, the inner quality. Don't make disconnecting. This all, I think, the cause of self-hatred and imperfections. Another thing is too much expectations make you feel shame and not perfect person. So what do you call it? Perfectionism is a self-destructive, and it arises when you experience shame and blame. You often believe it is because you weren't perfect enough. Perfectionism actually increases that when you will experience these painful emotions and self-blame, it will arise. So it is not healthy achievement in your life, Therefore, as I said, you need acceptance. because it is very healthy development, and it's about the relaxation. It makes you relax. It's about self-love, and it's about self-compassion. When you become more loving and compassionate with yourself, then your, what do you call it, this imperfections, transform into great perfections, right? So be careful with the idea of the perfect. If you want to become a perfect, then you have to think first the causes that make you perfect person. You have to really understand that maybe, you are not perfect person at this time, this moment. That's fine. That's why you are practicing, all of this love, compassion, bodhicitta, patience, all of that. If you have such strong habits, it will not be easy to change right away. We all know that. We have to accept that. But do your best with your patience. You have to think and check and always, what is the most courageous thing you could do for yourself when you feel you don't like yourself. You don't like yourself. You should think how to protect yourself. The Buddhist point of view, the Buddha nature, right? You understand Buddha nature when I say Buddha nature is the essence of our life, the ultimate human quality. The Buddha nature that we possess is more important than you have, let's say, millions of dollars. Because if you have, for example, millions of dollars, it makes you happy and it makes your life meaningful, or it makes you perfect person. It depends. It depends. Not 100% sure. But if you recognize your Buddha nature, it makes you perfect person. 100% sure. It means make you perfect person means you are become a priceless jewel, let's say. You can't say how much this jewel. It's priceless. Your enlightened being, that's it's indescribable, That's difficult. So, enlightened being's point of view, it is much better than you have millions of dollars. The Buddha nature. That's why we are so fortunate. So the idea of self-hatred is negative thoughts. You should not feel that way because you possess a priceless jewel, the Buddha nature. And also from the Vajrayana's point of view, maybe you don't understand this, but the nature of your body, the nature of your mind, your nature of your five aggregates are not separate and not different from 100 deities. So you should not sort of dislike yourself if you believe this, Vajrayana. Dislike yourself means you ignore your essence. You ignore your Buddha nature. You don't like the 100 deities. You ignore these protectors. The Vajrayana's point of view, your body and your mind, the essence of both of these, are not just an ordinary thing. That's why they said always when you eat, when you wear the clothes, you offer to your nature of your body, nature of your mind. So whatever you own, everything is meaningful if you do this way. When you wear the clothes, you offer your protector, your nature, your Buddha nature. You eat, you offering to your essence of your Buddha nature, your body, your mind, everything. It's whatever the Vajrayana's point of view, all your activities and actions meaningful. Nothing bad. So maybe you don't know about this idea of Vajrayana teachings, that's fine. But it actually, the meaning, it actually says that you should love yourself. That's they say in Vajrayanas. Because you have potential, the Buddha nature. So the Buddha nature is something that you can't forget. Because it is the only thing that makes you perfect person. Only. It is the only thing that makes you perfect person. That's why Buddhist point of view, opposite. You are not originally sin or evil person. You are originally an authentic, pure, and perfect person. They say that because of the Buddha nature. You have the ability to figure out how to achieve this goal. So you should believe in yourself that I can do this. That is the whole point, that you need to change your actions through the practice, understanding the wisdom. You know that you have ability. You know that you can do this. You can do it. You know how to figure out, achieve these goals, become a perfect person. You have ability. You know that. But sometimes, there is laziness, right? Laziness that makes you doing nothing. That's another problem. I mean, that's another sort of obstacle. So don't make yourself feel uncomfortable and upset because of this. Be happy and understand your Buddha nature. This wisdom make you really happy. If you don't have Buddha nature, let's say, you can't develop any of these human qualities. Just as I said, we are capable, we have potential because of the Buddha nature. That's why we can develop all this, our qualities. So that's why you can't forget your Buddha nature, the essence of your life. The Buddha nature is the best gift you get in your life. So therefore you should love yourself and make you happy. Not only yourself, you should share it with other important people in your life. Hey, you possess Buddha nature. That means you are capable. You can do whatever you want. So you should try to connect in with your Buddha nature. Don't make separate from it. Because if you don't like yourself, you are making disconnecting with your Buddha nature. It means you are making disconnecting with all of your human qualities, not only Buddha nature. Of course, sometimes, you are facing difficulties, the difficult situations, but you should have a good mirror, check your face. Then you will see the problem. And it will be changeable. It will be changeable. Dharma is always the best mirror. So you will reflect into your Dharma, and it will tell you this is the cause of your problem. This is the cause of your solution, the happiness. So everything is changeable. If you check your face using your best mirror, and you will see everything there and there. Then you will know, oh, I can change this, or I can do this. If such a problem you can change, then why you hate yourself? Otherwise, you're going to lose in yourself, and it will be a very dangerous situation. We all know this, Evil person, negative person, really destroy everything because they don't have wisdom. Their mind is not stable, very confused. There is a lots of solutions, but they don't know because of lack of wisdom. So you should check with yourself. What have I done for myself today? Think, What have I done for others today? You should think that, yes, I'm not perfect person at this moment. And sometimes, of course, afraid with the situation. But that doesn't change the true nature. But that doesn't change the truth of your inner qualities and your potential and your abilities. So if you think this way, actually the idea of imperfection is the best gift if you recognize it as your teacher. Because of that, right, you can change, you can develop your love, you can develop your connection, you can develop your everything, acceptance. So imperfection is very good. So therefore, there are many ways we can proof, you know. And protect yourself, your actions, your attitude, everything like that. So that is the part of how you develop your wisdom that I give you, share with you. Now the meditation for this problem, I mean the imperfection, is forgiveness. Very good one. So when you meditate, when you have this problem, you should meditate on forgiveness. So we should meditate for a few minutes on forgiveness. So this means, you know, first of all, rest your attention on the breath, always good for a few moments. And relaxing as you breathe in, relaxing as you breathe out. And bring to mind a situation in which you have caused harm to yourself. Whatever, feel bad about your actions, about your behavior, about your emotion, or about way of thinking, whatever. The causes make you unhappy. And ask to yourself, how does it make you feel about yourself? How does it prevent you from being happy? This is analytical meditation, so you have to think using your wisdom. It's actually about just about the teachings. Ask yourself, why is it unacceptable and unforgivable? So allow yourself to feel them directly in your body, your mind, because you have to understand the cause of this problem in order to fix it. So once you clearly understand the main cause that make you sort of dislike yourself, make you disconnecting with your inner qualities, then you should start to offer to yourself forgiveness to whatever feelings, thoughts, and behaviors that you are rejecting. As you practice like that, and thinking like that, investigate like that, you may feel as if you are going through the motions and are not actually capable of forgiving yourself. You might believe that you don't deserve to be forgiven. You might be afraid that if you forgive yourself, you will just do the same thing again. So if this kind of doubts and fears arise in your mind when you meditate on forgiveness, you should accept them. Just as I said, you should accept them with self-love, with self-kindness, and forgiving yourself. That is your intention. Your intention to forgive is the seed of forgiveness. So first you have to say this and understand about your intention. Forgive. Because you might feel this kind of doubts and hesitations. So the antidotes for those hesitations is accept. You have to accept acceptance, right? You have to accept. You should also say to yourself, it is my intention to forgive myself when I am able. And take a few moments, just no rush, just to think slowly, investigate whatever thoughts arise. Try to connect with yourself through sort of this analytical meditation, through this practice. And forgiveness. And remember your basic goodness, the Buddha nature, the love, compassion, kindness. Okay? Then relax and try to open your heart. Very important to connect and let your connect in yourself. This kind of people, I'm not saying that you have this problem, but if you have a dislike yourself, imperfection, about self-headed, this kind of people, they don't have connection. There's no bridge, between mind and body. They make separation, they're separate. So you really need, very much necessary, bring the connection. To remember your best goodness, that's the bridge. And then relax, open your heart, accept everything. Then sometimes this, analytical meditation with, sometimes it's nice if you say prayers, for yourself. Whatever prayers comes in your mind, you can say it, you can remember it, may I accept myself just as I am. That could be prayer. May I be happy. That would be prayer. May my mind open or my mind awaken. May I recognize my Buddha nature. May I feel my love and kindness. All of this. May I know the nature, joy of being alive. May I recognize my precious human life. All of that could be prayer. So you can say it loudly or silently, whatever, with this sort of analytical meditation. This is it's about wisdom. You are develop wisdom, which means you are sort of eliminating and diminish your ignorance. The ignorance make you disconnect. So these teachings and meditation, analytical meditation, is about wisdom. So therefore, Buddhist point of view, the wisdom is the most important. So just to meditate like that, prayers and investigating all of that, analytical meditation. And then you just relax, after you say the prayers, let yourself, let your this self-love grow, And as you say the prayers of love, this is love, right? Everything is about love. And hold yourself in your heart and recognize the preciousness of your life. That means about the 8 freedoms and 10 advantages. You can think about them as well. Aware of joys, the happiness, and all your experiences. Then again, just to relax there. You will experience, if you do this kind of meditation, you will experience the connection. Now you are connecting. You are making connecting with yourself. Before you lost yourself. You have no idea who you are. But you meditate like this, with your wisdom, with your analytical meditation, you are making connecting with yourself, your Buddha nature, your love, your qualities. It's so important. Just to relax and think and, recognize all your essence of your life. Sometimes the cause of this kind of problem, when you were baby or kid, the separation from your parents. I think that's a lot. People have that kind of problem a lot. But your parents are so important. Without them, you can't be here. The most important moment was when you can't take care of yourself without parents. So you are never separate from your parents. Remember the kindness of your parents. So you need to, connect all of these things. Connect again, everything. and just to relax. This is your self-confidence. And during the meditation, if you don't want to think only about yourself, then at the end of your practice, meditation, you can say some prayers for others too, like that. Just change your prayers as to others. May all beings have love and kindness. May all beings recognize their Buddha nature. May all beings awaken, and be free. May there be peace everywhere. Very important. We don't have peace. People are afraid because of this situation. Think about in Orlando. People are afraid, terrified. At this moment, you should also send your compassion, your love, kindness to those people killed. People are making disconnecting with themselves, as well as people are making disconnecting with others. People are making disconnecting between humans and animals. Everything like disconnect right now. Everywhere, everything, the situation is, everything is disconnected. There's no connection. Then how we take care, individual, society, family, if there is no connection? We are depend on each other. There's nothing exists other than that. There's no self exist. We need connection. If we don't have connection, we lost everything. Because people don't like each other, even they don't like themselves. That's the problem. So you should, think all of this, make you really relax, and recognize the precious of your life. So you should say, I'm very fortunate. All my circumstances, I'm able to practice, able to change my actions. I will change my actions. That's your commitment, your discipline. Always, be kinder, be gentle. How you talk, how you behave, very important. Then allow yourself to rest in openness and awareness. Be touched by your loving kindness. So what I'm saying is you have to take care of yourself first before you take care of others. If you cannot take care of yourself, then no way you can take care of others. Even you want, you can't do it. First, you should make sure that you are all right. Then you can think about others. I am good. So now the next step is others, right? You are in dangerous situation, then how can you help others? No way. So first love yourself, grow your love, develop your love, then it will be possible to extend, your love to others. Okay, so meditate like that for a few minutes.